Alien is a 1979 sci-fi horror film directed by Ridley Scott. After investigating a mysterious transmission of unknown origin, the crew of the commercial spacecraft encounters a deadly life form. Unlike most people, I in particular had not watched Alien during my childhood. It was something that I watched much later in my life. I heard about it, I heard things about it, I knew of the xenomorph creature and its existence, but I never had a chance to watch as a kid or even around my high school years. I saw some of the Alien sequels, but I never saw some of the original films. So I'm still kind of new to this. This is not a franchise I have the most knowledge of. I just have a general opinion about some of the older films now that I have seen them. And since it is the 45th anniversary year of Alien and I'm kind of late to the party here, I thought, why not throw my hat in the ring and give you guys my take on the first Alien film that started it all, directed by Ridley Scott. And giving it a few rewatches over the years and rewatching it the other day, this movie's still fantastic. I think this movie lives up to the hype in most of the best ways possible. I have to say that there are a few dated elements here, but for the most part, this is a beautifully and horrifically directed film with great tension, fantastic special effects, and all around enjoyable characters to latch onto as they try to escape this xenomorph creature. What I really loved most about it was the horror elements that it presented itself. I really liked how it was able to build up the suspense of the alien coming out at you, how you have the face huggers, and then you got the xenomorph creature itself. We also see the eggs at first as the crew is trying to figure out what's going on and what is this unknown life form. And so you are already wondering what's going to happen. You don't know what these weird things are really. You don't know what their deal is. And this crew that happens to find themselves in this horrific situation are really likable crew members that do feel like a tight-knit group of friends that have each other's back and is trying to do whatever it takes to try and survive and take care of each other. If this movie did not have likable characters or a team that felt like they had a real camaraderie with one another, this movie would not be as iconic as it is, and it would not have spawned an entire franchise that's still going on to this day. And this group of people felt real, they felt likable, and there's also a bit of a twist in there with one of the characters that the movie plays around with, and the character is played by Ian Holmes, who you might remember from the Lord of the Rings films as Bilbo Baggins. He plays one of the leadership characters here that is elderly, has seen the most around, but he acts very different whenever he's not around the crew themselves. And there's always an air of mystery behind what's actually going on and what his deal is. And I'm not going to spoil what it is if you guys still have not seen Alien. But I think what they did with him was very interesting, was very cool. And it led to a lot of unique tension between him and our main character, Ripley. And just talking about more of the characters themselves, there's no clear-cut protagonist, at least at first. The movie just trusts you to be able to care enough about this group of people in order to feel attached to them and that you don't want anything bad to happen to them. The camaraderie, the friendship is the main focus at first. And then once shit starts to hit the fan and Ripley is having to stand up and be in charge of most of what's going on around her and actually take protocol procedures seriously and follow through them no matter how she feels about them, makes her very likable and relatable and engaging to watch. You empathize with her, you understand her, and you want her to get out of the situation alive. And the physicality that Sigourney Weaver brings to this character, I think helps sells her as being someone who's able to fend off such a horrific alien creature. Which, talking about that now, let's go on to the alien itself, the xenomorph. This thing is a creepy motherfucker. There is a sense of sexual horror with this thing in regards to what the movie explores about it, and mere hints here and there, and what it shows itself doing. There's airs of a sexual undertone with this creature on how it kills, how it impregnates its host, how it does all these things. It just felt alien. Hence the title, really. This thing really did felt otherworldly. And if it isn't for some of the dated costume effects of it, that person is in the suit, if it wasn't for that, I would totally believe 100% that this thing is real. Because for the most part, the rest of the special effects that bring this creature to life looks incredible. This thing looked horrific, and what I love the most about what this film does with this creature was how it decides not to show it too much in the beginning. It slowly builds up to it, like with Steven Spielberg's Jaws building up to the shark. Same thing with this film, building up to the alien creature. And whenever it comes on screen, it is intense, it is scary, it is killing people left and right, and it is just a beast to watch. This thing was really horrific. And the atmosphere itself of the film and the tone it goes for is impeccable. There's a sense of dread looming throughout every corner. And with the music being lacking in many regards, this is not a loud soundtrack. You are forced to soak in the atmosphere, the environments of what's happening on screen. It is a situation you're being immersed into. And Ridley Scott does a great job at making this ship feel so claustrophobic, yet so big at the same time, that you don't know where you're going to be able to hide from this creature. All around, this film is great. If I were to have any problems, is that some of the side characters aren't always the most interesting. The group itself and their camaraderie is great, but as individual characters themselves, some of them are forgettable, but some of them are really enjoyable to watch and I care for them. And Ripley is by far the best character in the film, and I really like what the film did with her at the end. But as I said also, the alien suit, whenever it's a person in costume, doesn't look that good. And there are some effects here that do look a bit dated. But all around, the rest of the film is just great. From a directing standpoint, from the visual effects, they still look pretty good despite some of its dated elements. The characters are still, for the most part, well written and well acted. The music is great. The atmosphere and horror is impeccable. It is great. Like, this movie still holds up really well to this day. And I'm going to give Alien an A. Next, we're going to be talking about Alien Romulus, because that's supposed to be the next continuation. It takes place before Alien, so I cannot wait to talk about that finally. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.